screen.
Yeah, it is.
I think I'll probably make a video when I uh meet James Arnold Taylor.
Mhm,
Oh, I met James Arnold Taylor and make like a 4-minute video out of like the conversation or whatever, like what we talked about.
mhm.
Um I was like, do I really want to pay $60 to get a selfie? Um, but it would give me the opportunity to talk to him because he's like a big inspiration for why I started doing this Bible live stream to begin with.
Mhm, 'cause of his
Because
commentaries and Bible studies that he's done. I've seen a couple of them. I mean,
yeah, so I was like, so he's been a big inspiration. So I'd like to just tell him that, and
yeah. Yeah,
it's just really cool. I'm just excited.
yeah.
If you had the option to meet one of them, who would you choose? One of the
Um,
voice actors.
okay, it's either between James Arnold Taylor, uh, D. Bradley Baker, or Ashley Eckstein.
Mhm.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hi.
Hey guys, hey Cross Warrior and Ethan. So today I've got my Padawan. If you guys didn't know, I have a Padawan. Her name's Sophia.
Hello.
Um, and this is my first time doing a live stream with like another person, so we had to troubleshoot a lot. So if there's any hiccups, my bad. But feel free to say hello to the people, Sophia.
Cross Warrior. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, I've been in the comments for like her. I've been in the comments in her videos for like 2 years.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the first time
Oh.
that you ever commented because I can remember the first time Chan commented.
Mhm.
Um, and when True Sons of Mandalore commented, I feel like yours was like you emailed me
Yeah, it
when
was
it
the
was your birthday a couple years ago.
yeah, that was it was your video on pro-life that you took down back when you cleaned out your,
My
uh,
channel, yeah.
channel. Um, I went through and emailed you because I wanted to talk about that. Um, and I don't know why I was so surprised when when you responded to my email. I don't know, but I was so happy that it uh, what I considered a fairly large YouTuber um responded to my email, which you probably had gotten like which I thought you probably gotten a lot
Yeah,
from.
I actually talked to like 80 people during that time, like whether on email or like Instagram. But
Yeah,
it's kind of funny how sometimes people think I'm like a big YouTuber, but I'm like, I'm just a regular person. Like,
yeah,
but I'm so glad you emailed me because otherwise we wouldn't have started talking. You
hmm
wouldn't have become my Padawan.
yeah, fairly large
my
YouTube. Hi, Optimus Prime.
um
Um,
Hey Optimus Prime, welcome, welcome.
hey
We
Ryan.
got 8 people in the chat now. My sister texted me to inform me that my reflections in the iPad, I can't help that. I mean, because like if I do the light like this or like this, I guess that I don't know. If it's distracting, it's still covering up my face, so
Yeah.
serves its purpose, but um if it gets distracting, I'll do like that.
Hmm.
Anyway. So everyone, today we are going to be looking at First Corinthians chapter 13, which is a really popular chapter. Um, it's read a lot like in wedding ceremonies because it basically breaks down what the Bible says that love is, and it's kind of like I guess a vanilla kind of chapter if you grew up in church and heard it a lot. So me and Sophia tried to like delve into commentary and find some things about it that maybe y'all don't know about. So if you have anything to add, Sophia, feel free to interrupt me because I don't want
Um.
to talk over you.
Yeah. I don't think I've got anything right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, Ethan, I forgot it's St. Patrick's Day.
I went to church this morning, and my dad told me, "Hey, yeah, by the way, it's St. Patrick's Day," and I was like, I'd already gotten dressed, and I was like, I am not changing.
Yeah, we went to Costco earlier, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to actually wear something green so I don't get pinched or looked at." So I only have, like, 2 green shirts in my closet, and one of them's from this summer camp I worked at last year, and it has like, on the last day of camp, all the kids, like, wrote their name on the shirt and, like, signed it with a note, so I was just walking around Costco with, like, graffiti all over my shirt, but it was still green. Hey,
Yeah.
True Sons of Mandalore.
Hey.
Uh, he says, why are you going to the airport? Oh, I thought you were going to the airport to, like, leave." Um, True Sons of Mandalore. Tell your friend hey. I guess he can hear us. Hello, Frank's friend. Okay, so we pulled together a lot of commentary from Blue Letter Bible or John Piper or wherever you got yours from. I think we looked at a lot of the same resources.
Yeah, we did.
Frank's trick. Um, so I think first we'll just read through First Corinthians chapter 13. I meant to put it in the description. Sorry, guys. Y'all can just listen to us. Um, so we'll just read through it first, and then we'll kind of like give our thoughts on it. So, um, anyway, do you want to read the first part of the chapter, or would you like me to read it?
Um, you can read it.
Okay, I can read like verse 1 through 4, and if you want to do 8 through 13, do you want to
Sure.
do that? Okay. All right, so we're reading First Corinthians chapter 13, and I'm starting off verses 1 through 4. And she's gonna do. Wait, that didn't make any sense. I said 1 through 4, and then I said you do 8 through 13. That doesn't make any sense. Wait, okay, I'll do 1 through 7, and you do 8 through 13. That makes more sense.
That does make a lot more
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, I don't. Math isn't mathing today. Bye, Cross Warrior,
Bye.
or maybe True
Er,
Sons of Mandalore is leaving. Never mind.
oh,
Um, bye, Frank. All right, the way of love. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have all faith, not faith, if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And then you can pick up in verse 8.
yeah. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what in part disappears? When I was a child, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, uh, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now th- these three remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love.
Awesome. Um, this just, there's gonna be so many different times I'm just gonna like interrupt the conversation with a random thought, but this time it kind of brings up a funny memory because looking at verse 11, um, when it says, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways." So I was at this homeschool graduation one time, which for those of you who were not homeschooled, yes, we do have graduations. And they had this one kid's parents went up there to speak about their son because it was like a fairly small graduation. And
Mhm.
the dad was basically just started talking about how his son needed to stop playing video games and acting like a child and
God.
grow up now that he's going to college. So he read this verse on stage.
No,
He said
I
he literally was just like roasting his son, his like 18-year-old son in front of the audience, just quoting
oh my
verse 11. That was so embarrassing.
that
I was
kid
embarrassed for him.
so mad.
Yeah, I looking back on it, it's pretty funny, but sitting there, I was like, "That is terrible." I feel so bad for that kid.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Um, let's start out with verse 1 and 2. I'll read that again. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. Did you have any commentary on those specific two verses
Actually,
or
yeah.
no?
So,
Okay, take it
uh,
away.
yeah. So, what I wrote down was oh crap. What was I even thinking? I wrote this. Okay, I did this at like 1 in the morning. I was sleep deprived, but I fall asleep. So I was like, I'm just gonna do notes.
I was writing mine in the car, so like some of them are so messy. So I can start out if you want while you're looking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to the 20 plus people in the chat. That's oh
Hello.
now it's 19,
Okay.
but that's still more than usual. Hey Nova, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for popping in the chat. It's been a long time.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I have for verse 1 and 2, I was looking at the Blue Letter Bible commentary, and basically its takeaway from verse 1 and 2 was that love is greater than spiritual gifts in and of themselves. So, one of the spiritual gifts it mentions is the gift of tongues, which there's a lot of debate on what exactly that gift means. There's some people, especially like denominations like maybe the Pentecostal church, that put like a huge emphasis on the gift of tongues and um their take from my understanding is that it's kind of like a language you can't learn. It's just the Holy Spirit speaking through you as you're praying.
Yeah.
um that's I think that's what they believe on it, but there's also a theory that it's the ability to speak in different languages to share the gospel, like at Pentecost when the apostles just could speak any language possible to share the gospel.
Yeah.
So I just want to give some context for that.
Yeah. I think I heard one person say that some Pentecostal churches don't even consider you saved until you speak in tongues.
I think I've heard that too. I don't know if that's true for all of them, but I've heard that like
Some of them.
my mom knows somebody who grew up in a church that like she felt like she had to speak in tongues and she didn't know how to, so she felt like she wasn't a Christian because she couldn't do that. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
not
that's
biblical. Like that's not
up.
yeah, that's it's really messed up. I'm sure they don't all believe that, but there's always some wacky churches out there.
Yeah, always. Um so what I had was for verse 1 um is if you um if you ugh, if you are speaking to people with like then the tongues of angels and men. Um, I thought, oh my gosh, why am I stuttering?
I do
Uh,
too. I do not usually stutter, but once I get behind a camera or in front of a camera, I immediately
yeah,
just lose all
it's
train of thought.
it's
So
going on.
it is
Oh,
not your fault. I do this all the
then it was
time.
like, hi, oh yeah, there's 30 people watching this.
I do this literally all the time. Like, even if I'm not behind a camera, I will start a sentence and I have no idea where it's going and I feel so dumb. I'm like, I get distracted and I'm like, I'm sorry. I do have a train of thought. I just lost it though.
And I just squeaked.
I do it too. It's okay.
Weird laugh.
You should have okay, when I first started doing in-person videos, like when I was 17,
Mhm.
I was so nervous in front of the camera. I scripted out everything about the video. I would just straight up script. Like it sounded like Watch Mojo. I was so rigid. It sounded like I was reading off a teleprompter. I'll have to
Okay,
find a clip of that. But once you get used to it, it's like you don't even think about it anymore.
yeah.
So
Okay. So what I was thinking of is what they're getting on there is that like their holy languages, especially like the tongues of angels. Um,
mhm.
and it's like if you're speaking in those if you claim to speak in those holy languages, but you don't have love, it's like a sound that's really bitter and unpleasant. Like if you like, I'm sure you know what, like, a gong sounds like, or cymbals being smashed together sounds like. It's not very pleasant.
No.
Like, it's it almost, like, jolts through your whole body. It's
I
really
think it's kind of like if some people pretend to speak in tongues,
yeah.
it makes other Christians feel like they're lesser Christians because they can't do that, and then it, like
Mhm.
you're not doing it out of love, you're just, like, pretending at that point. You're just, like, doing it to show off, you know?
Yeah,
You might as well sound like a cymbal.
yeah. Um, and then for verse 2, if you have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and have faith that can move a mountain but don't have love, I'm nothing. Um, what I wrote down was you can be smart and faithful, but if you don't have love, it's worthless.
Yeah. Or if you're, like, a know-it-all or if you have a ton of knowledge, but you don't actually apply it and
Mhm.
use it to help
Yeah,
people, you know, where's it
exactly.
gonna get you? I had okay, so when it says faith that can move mountains, that's actually reference to Jesus's words in Matthew 17:20.
Yeah,
So I'll flip over there.
love that. I love that chapter. It's like if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains.
Mhm.
Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Don't.
Yeah. That was close enough. That was a very close paraphrase. It says, um, at least verse 20 says, He said to them, Because of your little faith, for truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. So basically, Paul's saying, like, even if you can move mountains with your faith, that's like in a metaphorical sense. But you have no love, then like it's worth nothing.
Mhm.
Yes, that Ethan, that was Matthew 17, verse 20.
I thought it was the other way around for a second. Oops.
What, 20 did
I
I
thought
say so? Maybe I said it wrong,
I don't know.
but
You
yeah, it's
probably
Matthew 17, verse 20.
um and my note for verses 4 through 7 just says it describes what should look like.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
For I'll read 3 through 7 again to
Mm.
refresh our memory. If I give away all and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So something that I wrote down once again from Blue Letter Bible. It's a really good resource. When it says have not love, the word love here is the Greek word agape, which a lot of people know what that is, but there are four different Greek words for love in the context of the Bible. There's, I do not try, eros, which is Eros, which refers to erotic sexual love, so like romantic love. And then we have, goodness, I don't know how to pronounce this one. S Dorge without the A.
I've
This
only
would be family love between parent. Huh?
uh, I haven't heard that one. I've only heard the
I
co
didn't either until I saw it today. I was like, I've never heard that before.
yeah.
Um, that refers to like family love between a parent and child or family members in general.
Hmm.
Oh, my sister just my sister just texted me and said it's storge.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pookums from the other room. You know you can come in here. You don't have to stand in the other room. She said it's Greek, it's storge. Thank you, Pookums. Um, and then philia, kind of like Philadelphia, is brotherly friendship and affection, deep friendship and partnership. It's the highest form of love that people are capable of apart from God. And then, like I said before, agape is love without changing. It's self-giving, self-denying. It's so great that it can be given to the unlovable or unappealing. Um, and our English word agony comes from agape, which I thought that was interesting. And agony literally means absorption of our being into one great passion. So, like, If you refer to John 3:19, let's look at John 3:19 and see what straight up read it. Let's see. John 3:19.
Really long.
Oh,
John.
the verse is really long? There we go.
I was looking at the chapter markers in this other Bible that I have are really faded.
Yeah.
3:19.
Oh, here we go. It was referring to how people love darkness and love the world.
Mhm.
Um, and this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people love the darkness rather than the light because their works were evil. So basically, they're absorbed into the darkness and the world, because it uses the same word there for love. Also, First John 2:15. You don't really have to turn there, but if you want to write it down, if you're taking notes, um, you can write that down. So basically, the takeaway from that is love means self denial for the sake of another person. Um, and referring to verse 4, um, when it says that love is patient and kind, love does not envy or boast, it is not arrogant or rude, it does not insist on its own way, it is not irritable or resentful. I think that was, yeah, I did verse 5 also. Um, the Blue Letter Bible also said that love is long suffering and kind. Um, And long suffering, you can refer to verses like Second Peter 3:9 of what that means. And Second Peter 3:9 is the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some count slackness, but he is long suffering toward us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So basically saying that our love should be that kind of patience that God has toward us. Because like a lot of people ask, why hasn't God like ended the world yet? But if he did end the world and did bring an end to all evil right now, like, would you even still be here tomorrow? Because you'd be gone too. Because we all have evil tendencies. Um, so that's the kind of love we're supposed to have toward other people, like extremely patient and understanding even when it's really difficult. Sorry, I just ranted for like 3 minutes. I was on a roll. So, um, did you have any commentary on 4 through, I think it's 4 through 6?
Yeah, I went over that mentally. I didn't write any of that down.
Mhm. Um, if you don't have anything to add, I can go on to the next thing in my notes.
Sure.
Oh. Um, so 8 things that love is not, according to this passage, and I have a bonus one too. So according to this passage, love is not envious, not proud, not arrogant, not rude, not cliquish. This is a obviously is a paraphrase that doesn't say cliquish in the Bible. Not touchy, not suspicious, not happy with evil, or rejoicing over evil. Um, and another one that I wrote down that's not in the Bible, but it applies to this too. Love does not mean accepting everything that somebody does. This is something that Frank Turek talks about a lot. It's kind of like a parent who accepts everything their child does and approves of everything the child does is not a loving parent. Um, if the child's gonna touch a hot stove and the parent just says, "Oh, that's good, you should do that," like, I approve, that's not a loving parent. So, loving doesn't always mean, like, agreeing with someone all the time.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to lovingly disagree.
yeah, I actually that was actually one of my mental notes that I took. Trying to remember which section it was on. Um it went with one of those. It
You mean one of the verses or one of
it was, yeah, it was one of the
the
points.
knots? Mhm.
Um I can't remember. I think it was somewhere in verse 7. I'm not sure.
Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Are you thinking of maybe you're thinking of verse 6.
Maybe love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with it. I know. I went over the. I went. I was talking to myself for like 5 minutes on this subject. Um. Gosh. What am I missing?
I can
Maybe
come back to you if you need me
yeah,
to.
looking for this.
Um,
In a different translation I was reading.
a note I had was something about envy. Let's see, where is envy? Where is envy? I believe it is in verse 5. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Oh yeah, yeah, it's in verse 4. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. Um, so in the commentary I was reading, it asked, is envy really a big deal? Like if you're just envious of someone's belongings or envious of somebody, is that actually like a major sin? And I never thought about this before, but it
It's
basically, what do you say?
it's the 10th commandment. Don't
Yeah,
covet.
it says like envy murdered Abel, envy enslaved Joseph, envy put Jesus on the cross,
Mhm.
which I never really thought of envy being the reason that Jesus was crucified, but like Matthew 27:18 is what it pointed to.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where does that Matthew 27:18. Oh, for he knew that it was out of envy that they had delivered him up. That is interesting. I guess they were well, he did no wrong, so it makes sense that they were envious of him because like he literally never did anything wrong ever. So I just never really, I guess, looked at that verse that way. I'm gonna write that note
Then
down.
enjoy your dinner.
Bye, Ethan. Ah, my Bible's falling. First Corinthians. Um,
Yeah. I tried to find the verse, but I couldn't remember um what rabbit trail I followed to get to that point. So I'm a
yeah.
little
It's okay.
uh, um yeah, I went over each individual point in my head and was like, okay, this is what this means. This is what this means.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember.
Well, you planned better than I did. I was thinking in the car today, I was like, okay, I need to add some more to my notes. I need to consult another commentary.
Mhm.
Um, that's why my handwriting's so shaky. Like, let's see, I'll show you. It's like, well, it actually doesn't look that bad, but for me, it's bad. That's I was just struggling writing in the car.
Uh, my normal handwriting is worse than your shaky handwriting. That's what I got.
That's not bad.
For me,
I
that's
remember
like my fast writing.
I remember, like, in high school, the beginning of the school year, I'd always, like the first few pages of my journal would be so neat because I'm like, "I'm going to write so neatly in this journal, it's gonna look amazing," and then it just turns terrible after, like, 4 pages, and I give up.
Yeah, my friend has like the it. She has the neatest handwriting, and it is so pretty. And I'm like, I just wish I could write like you.
Does it look like its own font? Because
Yeah,
I know some people like that.
like it's like it would be a perfect font. Okay.
Ryan said, "Watching your semester slide downhill in real time." Yep. Yep.
My my dad's feeding my our cats. There you go, kitty.
I couldn't tell if that was, like, a child screaming or a cat in the background.
Cat.
And she "Rah!"
Yeah, she was standing at my door, feel like let me out. I have one.
Malia! Hey, Malia.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forget, like, you got the time difference between us because your church is just now starting. Meanwhile,
as in
it's,
like
like, 9:20 over here.
wait, I'm oh yeah, I'm. It's only 8:30 or I. Why did I say 8:30? It's 8:21 for me.
It's yeah, 9:21 for me. I think for her, it's, like, 7:21?
In the morning?
No, at night. She's on
Okay,
the other side of the country.
okay. So okay, I'm assuming you have nighttime church, nighttime
Right,
service.
Malia? Do you go to, like, I guess, morning and night service, Malia?
Yeah, my church only has one service. 10:45.
Is it, like I guess yours is a smaller church than mine because we have 2 services.
I go to a tiny little church.
Mhm.
Um,
Ours is like a mini mega church, which I don't really like that much. Like, I don't really like that setup, but,
yeah, I used
yeah.
to go to one kind of like that. Um, didn't like the Sunday school. The life groups just weren't great. No friends. It was
They
sad.
were cliquish, like, you're not supposed love is not cliquish and not touchy and not suspicious, according to my notes.
um, yeah, morning and evening on Sunday and on Wednesday. Okay, yeah, I have morning um on Sunday and evening on Wednesday.
Okay, nice. Did you have any more notes on I mostly concentrated on the first part of First Corinthians 13 because
Mhm.
that's, like, kind of our focus. We can go through the verses you put on the screen, though, if you wanna
Mhm.
do that, unless
Yeah,
you had more commentary.
I'm hoping that we planned it so that a bit more so that it would tie in each like, oh yeah, this verse goes with this topic. Um, yeah, it was the stream was
Let's
originally
see.
like on friendship, so that's why all the verses relate to friendship.
Yeah. Um, was there a certain order to how you want me to go through it? Because I saved it in the order that you sent it to me. Do you want me to go just in order
I,
of what
I
you've got?
order. I just I have a sticky note. Hold on. Um, I
'Cause
had
you can read them if you want, and I'll just, like, swipe them on the screen for the other people.
I had general um verses. So John 15:13 was a general
Where is it?
somewhere. So you get general verse on friendship.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one lay down one's life for one's friends. Um and that ties in really nicely with First Corinthians. My guitar just play itself.
It's
Sort
a ghost guitar.
of okay, it's probably my voice vibrating the strings. I don't know. Across the room. Um but yeah, I thought it went really nicely um for with First Corinthians. Um, I
Hey,
don't know.
Print Cloud.
It was yeah. Because it's just like the love of a friend. You would if you oh
Like
my
philia? Like the brotherly friendship and
yeah.
affection?
Thank you. Um, it like you would do anything for a good friend. I mean, I would.
Imagine, like, how Jesus gave up his life for us when we didn't deserve it, like, at all. So it's like if I just gave up my life for some not just a random person, but, like, a random person that had done me wrong, like, 10 billion times. Like,
Yeah,
that's, like, the equivalent of what Jesus did for us. Like, we wrong him over and over again, and we're not even, like it's like he considers us friends, but at the same time, we wronged him so many times, and he still gave up his life for us, and we didn't deserve it
yeah.
at all.
And the fact that he knew how many times that we would wrong him, and not only just the people in his time, but he gave up his life for all sins for all time,
Mhm.
which is insane and impossible to calculate, except for God, because He knows everything. Yeah,
It's like that song this is just taking me back to contemporary Christian radio,
yeah,
like K-Love, it Drops in the Ocean by Um,
Yeah,
what's that guy's name? You know what
Pops
I'm talking about?
Ocean.
Drops in the ocean. I used to love that song. I used to listen
Oh,
to it all the time.
they play that um, in children's church all the time when I was growing up.
Bye, Molly. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Um,
Yes.
yeah, basically saying that like our sins are basically drops in the ocean in terms of like
Mm,
how many times we sin. Imagine how many drops from the ocean. Yet Jesus still forgives us, and he knew, like Sophia said, he knew ahead of time what we were gonna do, and he still sacrificed himself.
mm,
Um, and I remember like one of the first Bible study live streams I did on here, I I was doing like the Star Wars comparisons.
yeah,
And I was trying to compare Canaan's sacrifice to Jesus' sacrifice, but I was like, this isn't even really comparable because Canaan at least had like reason to
to
die for his friends, like because they
yeah,
did so much for him,
yeah,
whereas Jesus died for us for like, and we did nothing to deserve it.
yeah, we did nothing. We literally did the exact opposite. We did everything to not deserve it.
Hmm.
And Kanan, at least he was doing it for people he knew.
Yeah, that he like knew and that like had sacrificed so much for him, and
Mm,
it was just kind of backwards from how it works for us. Um, let's see. Oh, what's the next verse you had written down? I've got them all right here, but
Ethan's back.
hey, Ethan. Hope you had a good dinner.
Um, I had a couple. I had two verses on like the kinds of friends you keep.
Mhm.
First Corinthians 15:33.
Let's see. That's Galatians 15. Sorry if I'm giving anyone a seizure. Nope, that ain't right. That's that's an edit. um.
I don't know if I did that one.
Oh wait, maybe it's First Corinthians. Are you looking at 13 or 15?
15. I may not have done that picture. Oops.
Okay. You can
Um,
still
yeah, I'll read.
like
Let me
read
read that.
it.
Um, First Corinthians 15:33. Do not be do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character.
Mhm.
So there's verse 34 continues it. Come back to your senses as you ought and stop sinning. For there are some who are ignorant of God. I say this to your shame. Um, yeah.
It's kind of like that saying that you are the company you keep, and
Mhm.
a lot of times people being around people all the time, you start to become like them because like
Yeah.
that's your sphere of influence,
Mhm.
um yeah, and that's not always a good thing. I think I compared it one time to battery acid, like if if battery acid just gets everywhere and corrupts everything,
Yeah,
and if one person is like, encouraging like bad habits and stuff, like it's just gonna spread to everybody eventually with peer pressure, like battery acid. That's not the best comparison ever, but I think it's like kind of accurate.
I guess so. Yeah.
What was the next verse you had?
Um, Proverbs 27:17.
Okay. Aha, got it.
As iron
Oh,
sharpens,
Rebecca. Sorry.
yeah, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That one is quoted a lot. That
Mhm.
um, I've had that memory verse. Been like, yeah, guys, be sure to do this. Remember, do this as a memory verse. Um, and um, yeah,
This is like kind
how
of a not shallow example, but like a very simple example in terms of as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Like if you have someone who never gives you constructive criticism or never like tells you the truth when you need to hear it, and all they do is just approve of everything you do, that's not going to grow you into a better person. It's like it reminds me of in college when we still do this, but like we'd post like a rough draft on our discussion board and ask for feedback. But then people are just like, "Oh, it's just amazing just the way it is. Like you did everything fine. You don't need to change anything." And I'm like, "That's not helpful." Like be
it
iron, sharpen me, sharpen my skills and don't just tell me what you think I want to hear.
yeah, and that's how Christians are supposed to help build on each other. Is they're supposed to correct each other and point out, oh yeah, in a kind and loving way, um,
Mhm.
hey, that's not right, or you need. Why am I so okay? This happens every time I have to give a presentation to for church, for school. It's always I always end up standing up there and freezing for 5 minutes. Like, what do I say? Not 5 minutes,
It's okay.
more 30 seconds, but it feels like an eternity. But Christians are supposed to help build up other Christians, and you're supposed to sharpen each other and help each other grow in the Lord and in their faith. Because it's really difficult to make it through but on your own. It's almost impossible. That's why we are encouraged to fellowship with each other in the ugh. We're supposed to fellowship with each other, commune.
Because if
Con-
you don't have that community, it's like you're not gonna actually like grow
yeah,
at all.
um, the as the original Christian church, they would meet daily to fellowship and um, pray and sing hymns, and I thought that was incredible. Like, wow,
And
they
here we are, and we only meet like once a week, if even that. Like
even I would I just yeah.
and I think, like, it's important to remember that Christian community is not just at church, like, once a week or twice a week, whatever. Um, it's
All the
also the people you surround yourself with, like, surrounding yourself with people who are good influences on your life and who aren't bringing you down. And even just, like, in this kinda community where it's just literally doing a live stream, that's still a form of a Christian community sharpening each other,
yeah,
even if you're not, like, in person.
exactly.
What was the next verse you got?
The next 5, I think, verses,
Mhm.
were well, first I've had First Corinthians 13, 4 through 13. We've already read. Um,
Yeah.
but these are on how friends should treat another or each other. So Hebrews 10, 24 and 25.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching.
Yeah, I remember doing, like, a study on Hebrews in church a few months
Mm,
ago. Um,
Hebrews is a good book.
yeah, agreed.
um,
I like how you can see how there's, like, people they had the same problem back in the day of, like, people not going to church, or, like
yeah,
I like how he says,
like
like, "As some are in the habit of doing," like, he's put that in
yeah,
um
you guys are already stop. You guys are already giving up meeting. Like, come on,
I
don't
think
do
it's
that. Don't do that. Come back.
I think it's funny how it has they have, like, the exact same problems that we have today.
Yeah.
Um, "Hey, Commander Louis," and we've got
Hey.
someone named I Fear the Lord. Welcome. Like your username. It reminds me of how the clones never give up and all. Yeah, Louis. It also when we talked about um, philia, brotherly friendship and affection, deep friendship and partnership, the highest form of which man apart from God is capable. Like when we were talking about that kind of love, the clones obviously came to mind because
Oh
they
yeah,
always come to mind for me. So
and the way they're constantly giving up their actual lives for their brothers. is insane.
Even how, like, soldiers do that, like, in real life, like, soldiers do that or,
Mhm.
um, first responders, police officers,
Yeah,
like, state troopers, they all do that and don't get recognition a lot of times.
it's really sad.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Did you have another passage?
Um, Philippians 2:3.
Yep.
I
Do nothing out of I like how you had, like, crossed out, like, the nothing
I
part.
I that was already I just picked one of the stock photo I just picked one of
Oh.
the pre-made photos on the Bible app.
Hey, fostering cat.
It's really I really like that one though. I think there are a couple to choose from. But yeah, do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility consider others as more important than yourselves.
I remember in my co-op, in high school this was during COVID, so I was, like, a junior in high
Yeah.
school, and we were reading Julius Caesar, the play by William Shakespeare, and we had, like, an entire, like, conversation multi-week conversation on ambition and how it can be negative, like, you're just focusing on yourself and your own desires and your own, like, craving for power, um, and this verse reminds me of that, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility consider others as more important than yourselves." Um,
That one.
Pugums, hold on.
Uh,
Pugum, sister, come hither. Did you just read Julius Caesar?
yes.
Was when we talked about ambition, was that more in relation to Julius or to Julius, because that's what they supposedly killed him on based on his ambition, which he did not have. Like his you mean like his craving for power? Mhm. Which he did not have. What do you mean? Because that's what the conspirators were like basing their killing of him on, but really he at least I don't think he's ambitious enough to become a tyrant. But it's based on your interpretation of the book. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, I enjoyed that play. Yeah, it's really, I think, the conspirators' ambition than Joyce. Okay. What was the guy's name that I did the speech for? Um, Mark Antony. I did it. Okay.
Mhm.
I did a speech. I got extra credit for this is such a homeschool thing. Performed the Mark Antony speech from Julius Caesar and got extra credit. Made a video
Right.
out of it and everything. I made it black and white. I'll just show that to you. I made it in black and white and I made like a fake crowd as if I was Mark Antony talking to like, the people um of Rome. It was it was dumb that I got extra credit. And I got a Cracker Barrel gift card too for it.
Oh,
So,
that's the Cracker Barrel
yeah.
gift. Our
I'm gonna send that to you, remind me.
okay, yeah. Well, the our co-op we did Taming of the Shrew last year, last grade, back in seventh, not seventh, ninth grade.
7th grade.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we did. We did it in ninth
You're
grade.
in 11th grade, right? Or you're 10th? You're in 10th grade.
Yeah, 10th grade.
Okay.
So we did it last year, and it was hilarious because half the time the boys wanted to play the girls' roles,
Yeah.
and of course they would just do the funniest accents.
I feel like a lot of times in plays, the guy roles are more fun than the girls' roles. Like,
Yeah, it
it
is.
depends on the play. It was so fun. Like, I had to dress up as Mark Antony and stand on my front porch at an angle where you couldn't tell it was a front porch and look like just a railing. Um, I'll just send that to you. It's probably like 5 minutes long.
Mhm.
But Foster Cat said, "Is your Padawan Pookums?" No, Pookums is like my sidekick. She's my comic relief. She's in the other room, but this is Sophia.
I
She's my Padawan as of like a month ago. Like
love
Chan,
that.
me and Chan were. Was it less than that?
No, something like that. Sorry, I have bread in
Yeah.
my I had a snack.
Yeah, me and Chan were texting and I was talking about how Malia is his Padawan. I was like, you know what? I should make Sophia mine. He's like, we'll do it. And I just texted her. I was like, hey, important question. Do you want to be my Padawan? So it's official now.
Yeah, Chan texted me later that night. and it was like, no, it was like a couple days later, but he's like, "So I hear you're a Padawan now." And then later he was asking something about the people you continue to keep in contact with, like your internet friends,
Yeah.
and for when you were listing a bunch of people and you forgot me
Oh,
in
yeah, that's I
in
think
the
that's what brought it on
in
'cause
the
I think I mentioned,
the
like
the convo.
I mentioned some of the older people that I'm friends with, they're, like, my age or above, but I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, obviously Sophia's in there too, I just, like, forgot to list you." I was like, That's terrible." I talk to you probably more than anybody else, so I'm not sure why you slipped my mind. I don't know. Um, you and probably Frank, I talk to the most, and
Okay.
then Chan and Malia. Um, yeah, anyway.
Okay.
Ryan Foster said, "The people who killed Caesar." Yeah, I was talking about, like, the Julius Caesar play and Mark Antony and all them that murdered Caesar,
Yeah.
the Ides of March.
Ugh.
Anyway, I think we had one more verse left, didn't we?
Philippians 2:5.
Okay, let me find it. Philippians 2. Oh, there's Galatians 6:2 as well.
Oh, where's
The one with the cardboard box.
that one was just a basic verse on friendship. Yeah, I was in the car when I sent you that list, and that's the list I went off of.
I'll
So
still read it because I like how the imagery fits with the oh, it looks like it says Galatians 6:2. Let me zoom out a little bit.
yeah.
Galatians. Okay. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Yep, it's got a cardboard box. Isn't that nifty? Um, what was the last one? Oh,
Um
this one?
yeah, Philippians 2:5.
Okay.
In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. So giving up, gave up his life for us. Um,
Yes,
always,
like I said earlier, love is self-denial for the sake of another. Like
yeah,
that's Jesus' love for us.
yep.
Yeah. Um, did you have any other thoughts on that verse or on any of the other verses we covered?
I probably did at the time, but it's that they've kind of flown away.
Yeah. I totally get that.
My cat's
Um,
saddest little sound outside my room.
you wanna let her in?
I
Or
don't even.
him,
I don't
her?
know where she is. Kit Kat, where are you? Oh, you want
Y'all, I am planning on, while Sophia's getting her cat, I am planning on meeting James Arnold Taylor soon at a Comic Con, and I gotta pay like $60 to get a selfie, but it's worth it because I get to talk to him and tell him about how he like inspired me to do this Bible study live stream to begin with, like the series. So do you guys have any ideas of what I should ask him or tell? Oh, your cat just that was so weird. I just glanced up and your cat's walking across
yeah.
the screen. Do y'all have any idea of what I should tell or ask James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan and Plo Koon, when I meet him? Ashley Eckstein's supposed to be there. 52 people? I'm screenshotting this. That never happens.
Wait, really?
Oh,
It was
dang, it went down to
nine,
46.
9 people 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it went down. It was like 52, and I tried to screenshot, and it went down to 46. So let's hope it goes back up. Um,
Well, in
yeah, so Ashley Eckstein's gonna be there too, but it's like $100 to take a selfie with her, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that. So Um, I'm just gonna I think I'd rather talk to James Arnold Taylor like, more anyway, just because he's
mm,
just a big inspiration for me. Because if y'all don't know, he does or he used to do Bible studies on his YouTube channel, and he's, like, openly Christian. Thank you, Pookums. Pookums took a screenshot, because mine was too
oh,
slow. Thank you, Pookums. Um, yeah, so during COVID, he would do Bible study videos on his channel, and
mhm.
Matt Lancer and Catherine Tabor also put, like, Bible verses up on their Instagram, so, um,
Wait, who's
yeah.
Catherine? Um,
She is Padme in the Clone Wars, then Matt
oh,
is
he-
Anakin.
I knew Matt Lanter. I didn't know Captain Tabor. I'm such a horrible Star
Um,
Wars.
I think it's cool that, like, it's crazy that all 3 of them I kind of wonder if Dave Filoni is a Christian or something, because like, the chances of all 3 of them being strong Christians, and they're, like, the 3 main characters aside from Rex,
Mhm.
is just interesting to me. Like, well, Ahsoka, I don't think, Ashley Eckstein's a Christian, but it's just interesting that 3 of them are, like, openly devout Christians.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I didn't
So if
even
y'all have Huh?
Taylor. I didn't know James Arnold Taylor, not James, Matt Lanter was a Christian. Mainly because 'cause I'm not on any other social media other than really YouTube. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Um, yeah, I think, like, Matt has posted stuff on his story before about him, like, watching, like, a Bible live stream, or, like, he posted verses. Catherine Tabor posts stuff too. Um, even some of the child actors, like, I grew up with, or, like, actors from some of my favorite shows growing up, like Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah.
The lady who plays the mom on there is openly, like, Christian and pro-life and posts
N
about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. There was that whole scandal with Gina Carano.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is, Christian or even religious, but she was like remember her something not about not wanting to get the vaccine? That's why she got fired is what I originally was told.
I don't think that's what it was. I remember it was, like,
A
I'm
pronoun.
pretty sure it's, like, Valentine's Day of I don't think it was even the pronoun thing. I think it was something she said comparing conservatives to Jews in the Holocaust, which is a pretty stupid comparison, and this is coming
Yeah,
from me who's, like, conservative in most areas, so I was like, "Girl, that was a dumb thing to tweet." Like, I don't think she deserved to lose her job over it, but I was like, "Girl, you should have seen that coming from a mile away. Why would you make a
yeah,
comparison to the Holocaust?" Oh my gosh.
yeah, I didn't
Um,
really follow that very closely. I did hear she
yeah.
Elon Musk trying to get her, um, like, uh, was it I'm blanking on the word. Um, just trying to help her, in a lawsuit against sue Disney. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for, sue. He's trying to help her sue Disney.
Mhm. Milo Plays is saying, "This is a joke, right? Or are you seriously giving Star Wars characters religions?" No, like, this stream was originally a Bible study, but we just finished the Bible study, but we just started rambling about Star Wars, but, I was saying that the voice actors who play Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars are all Christians and post about it on their social media. They post Bible verses, or just stuff regarding the Bible. I was talking about how James Arnold Taylor, the guy who voices Obi Wan, is a great inspiration to me, because he used to do, like, Bible study videos during COVID, because that was, like, a really dark, depressing time for a lot of people. Um, yeah, so I was just talking about how I'm going to meet him at a Comic Con soon, so um, I just wanted to tell him how he's like a inspiration for me.
Yeah. Ethan, wants you to is wondering if you could ask him about the differences between the 2D Clone Wars, like recording or filming,
Mhm.
and Clone Wars.
Yeah. I should write this down. I should put a community post up and be like, "Hey, like, do y'all have certain things you want me to ask James Arnold Taylor when I meet him?" That'd be fun.
Foster and Cat asked, wait, he worked on two, or is like, wait, he worked on 2D. I think he worked on the 2D. I'm not sure. Let me check real quick.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure he did the Clone Wars
it's
2003.
first
Like, he was Obi-Wan.
2002. Um, I'm checking the cast. Hold on.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure that Obi-Wan was so salty in Clone Wars 2003, like the 2D version. He was
yeah,
so moody and salty. It was hilarious.
it was so funny. Um, yeah. I think Hayden did Anakin in that series. Yep,
Did
James.
he?
It was.
I didn't know
Oh,
that he did Anakin.
yeah. Okay. as Anakin. Um, yeah, I liked the 2003. It was okay. But I prefer the 2008. I think most people would say the 2008 was better.
Yeah, it was so extra. Like the 2003 Clone Wars is so extra. If you
Yeah.
rewatch it, like especially Mace Windu and Anakin, um, just
Milo
so over the top.
Milo plays asked actually just asked a really good question. As an atheist, what is the point of Bible studies? Just reading the Bible? Um, the okay, so as Christians, we are called to know our Bible and really know what we believe. It's I think that's called apologetics, and um, to know our Bible and to know what we're really um, to know what we believe, we have to read our Bible, we have to study it, and know the context around it. Um, I'm confused. You're texting me. Um, can you guys hear me? Shin texted me like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "What is going on?" Um, but to but to oh no, Shin, where'd you go? Um, okay. Um, apparently,
Okay,
oh,
can you hear me?
yeah, you're.
What in the world? I'm so sorry. That was the worst timing ever. Like
I don't know what.
it's because my YouTube, I have reminder thank you, sister, for helping me.
Oh, the
Um
reminder.
I have reminders set like, "Oh, you've been on YouTube for like 10 hours. You should probably take a break." Sorry, that just I had to duck out for a second. Uh I did not hear your explanation, but if
Um, yeah, could
either
you?
you can repeat it or I can
I'm kind of struggling. I don't. I
let me
try
look
to.
at this question again.
I try. Yeah, it's like, what is the point of Bible studies?
Okay, Milo plays. Um in terms of well, obviously I'm a Christian and so is Sophia, and I believe the most important thing in life is knowing what's going to happen after you die. Like because as a famous person said, I think it might have been Benjamin Franklin, there is the only thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. So can't do anything about taxes, but I do know that I'm going to die someday. And it's kind of like a search for truth. I want to know what happens after I die. And as a Christian, I believe that Jesus is the only way to save us from our sins, and He's our only way to eternal life. Um, Basically, the gospel in a nutshell is that each one of us is a sinner. We all lie, we all cheat, we all lust, steal, we all hate other people, or have in the past at some point. And there's nothing on earth that we can do to merit eternal life. There's no amount of good works we can do to go to heaven. So basically, the gospel is that Jesus died in our place and he lived a perfect life and died as our sacrifice so that we don't have to go to hell. That's like the Bible in a nutshell. Um, and that's why we read the Bible to learn more about who Jesus is and how to live for him. Does that sound about right, Sophia?
Yeah, about right. Um,
Okay.
um, yeah, what I was saying was it's also as Christians we're called to know what we believe and why we believe it, and the answer is in our Bible. Um,
Because you
and
don't want to be like blindly believing something and not have answers for people's questions.
there are a lot of, um, I guess, lukewarm Christians who don't read their Bible. They don't know what they believe, and whenever they're asked, "Oh yeah, why are you a Christian?" or "What do you believe?" and they're like, "I don't know," and it's
Yeah,
it,
because
it,
my parents said so.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, it's because my pastor told me this. And so to know how to answer those questions that a lot of people will come up to you and ask you about is the answers are all in your Bible. It or yeah, are all in the Bible. Um and to and a lot of the time there's a general meaning, and then there's also not necessarily hidden, but there's um
Like a deeper
yeah,
meaning to it.
to a lot of passages and stories, and to and then the connections between verses, references, um, are also are also really nice to find. So a lot of people take notes. My Bible has an extra whole like
Is it
notes.
like this?
Um,
Is yours like this, where it's got like a bunch of commentary at the bottom?
it's this. It's got like a whole side on the page.
That is super light font. Wait, show me again. Let me see.
Hold on.
The font, because I couldn't.
I think it's the lighting.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's probably
kind of sort of see it. It looks like it's invisible ink.
yeah. My friend got me this Bible. I love it so much. Um,
Cool.
my one was I got it. I was gifted it by my old children's leader, and
I was too. That's where I got mine from my high school.
this one,
My high school like
like,
small group leader.
it doesn't lay flat, and like I have so many notes in it. Ah, Carabast. um, I've got an NIV study Bible.
I have the ESV. I'm gonna cover up my name because it's got my name like on the front,
Yeah,
but it's just like it's like this. It's just a big brown Bible, and it's got a ton of commentary all on the bottom of the pages. Um, yeah.
I've
So
got a but my old Bible is like the covers getting all messed up, and there's a lot of notes in it. I love this Bible, but it also doesn't lay flat, so it's hard to read,
yeah.
especially when
Um,
I'm trying to highlight. It's really
I
annoying.
don't I don't
Um,
know if Milo is still in the if Milo plays is still in the chat, but if you're not familiar with the Bible, I would not recommend starting in Genesis because it can be a lot to comprehend if it's your first time reading it, even if it's like your 10th time reading it. So I would recommend starting in the book of John.
yes, John is really good place to start.
Yeah, it basically just it's written by one of Jesus's disciples, um, one of his like closest friends that was with him throughout his ministry, and he's actually the only disciple that was not martyred, outside of Judas who committed suicide. But um, he was the only one that was not martyred. Anyway,
Oh
I
yeah,
would recommend reading the Book of John if you're still in the chat. If you're not, you
I
know,
forgot
that's
committed.
okay.
um,
What did you say?
I forgot Judas committed suicide
Yeah, like he was the only one. I think it was every single disciple apart from Judas was killed for their faith except for John, who lived to old age,
because
and wrote
even
Revelation.
even he was exiled to a deserted island.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Bumblebee, hello, I'm Bumblebee. I saw that you said hi, Shenanigans Skylarker in all caps a little while ago, but I didn't want to interrupt Sophia because she was on a roll. She was doing good. So welcome to the chat. Yeah. I do kind of wonder sometimes, like Ethan's talking about Judas, he gave up 30 pieces of silver. He gave up the 30 pieces of silver after realizing his betrayal. I kind of wonder, like, was Judas, did he go to heaven or did he go to hell? Because I feel like I don't know. Like
Art-
he, he betrayed he betrayed Jesus, and I don't know if he felt remorse and like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't done that," or if it was more of, "Oh, dang, that was not good of me." But, like, there's, like, a difference between, like,
Yeah,
feeling bad that you did something, that you got caught, versus I feel truly sorry for what I did, you know?
yeah, the difference between being sorry and repentance.
Yeah. That's what I was aiming at, and
Um,
I feel like there's a verse, I think it's in, um, the Garden of Gethsemane when Jesus is praying and he says, like,
mhm,
"I have not lost any of them except, like, Judas." So, yeah, I don't know.
mm,
He I don't know, I guess he wasn't saved. Um,
mm.
I guess that's not really for us to know.
Yeah, we'll find out one day.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, imagine just getting to heaven and being like, just seeing, like, all these random, like, famous people or people from the Bible, you're like, "Wow, there's Billy Graham." He wasn't in the Bible, obviously, but, like,
Mhm.
just seeing these random people you've only heard about
Yeah, for
or
real.
read about
It's
can be
like
pretty cool.
you'll see them and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're a celebrity. You're
Yeah, like, the Apostle Paul.
a celebrity."
"Can I get a selfie?"
Can I oh my gosh,
Uh,
can we get a portrait together?
yeah. "Can you sign your autograph, please?"
Yeah.
Saul or Paul? You can sign it both ways. Um, anyway, uh, did you have any other closing thoughts, or does anyone in the chat have a profound thought, like a shower thought? Like, I always end the live stream with, like, giving you the opportunity to share a profound thought or a thought about the Bible study.
Yeah.
Was there anything you had left, Sophia?
Not really.
This
Think
song reminds me of "Proof of Your Love" by For King Country.
uh
The monologue part, you
oh
know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the monologue. That was that verse though. They read that verse
Yeah,
in
it
the
was literally yeah. So whenever I, like, read this chapter of the Bible, I always do it in, like, an Australian accent in my mind because I'm used to, like, hearing them do the monologue like that.
Yeah.
Like, "Even if I go to the stake and be burned as a martyr, but have not love, I'm nothing," or yeah, I just like when they say it. So
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was one of the first videos I saw was you doing a edit to a For King and Country song. I think it was Proof of Your Love, The Proof of Your Love. Um
I don't
and
think I did ugh, I didn't do that song, it was the other, um oh, what is that
it
song called?
was cool.
It's the one with the bridge, like, where the person is about to commit suicide
That
on the bridge and then
that
decides not to. It's
um God
God
God only knows what you've
God
been
only knows. That's
God
it.
say
What
about
they
you.
say for you. God only knows how it's killing you. There's a
There's
kind of love that God only knows. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. Um
Okay, well, what were we gonna say?
oh, I was gonna ask again, is like does anybody have
We
any questions, thoughts on the study?
what?
Anybody in the comments? They had any questions or comments on the study?
Okay. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or comments, drop it in the chat. If not, I'll end the stream in just a minute.
Yep.
I can't believe I forgot to put the link in the description for, like, the actual chapter and stuff. I always do that. It's fine.
Mm. Well,
God only knows what's
yeah.
killing you.
While we're waiting, I guess I could mention, um, my mom got this bread mix, and it was like a beer bread, but you could really just use any fizzy drink. And so we had
Mhm.
root beer. And my dad got the kind in the glass bottle, and it was a pack set of is a 4 pack. And so I was drinking it, and I was I always love getting the glass bottles, but it's also just really fun.
I wanna see the did you finish the bread? Like, did y'all finish the bread?
We had little mini loaf pans. It was like
Oh, I like that, that's cute. It's like
I
tiny bread.
yeah, it's tiny bread. Um,
This angle of Ahsoka right now looks like when you put your camera on point
oh,
5 and take a selfie, you know,
wow.
'cause it's from the top of her head.
Bumblebee out
Um,
Bad Batch season 3. Uh,
I watched I skimmed the first couple episodes, and then I skipped one of the episodes 'cause I just didn't get around to watching it. But the past 2 episodes from this past week, I really liked those. My only complaint was that it was too dark in terms of, like, I literally couldn't see the screen.
yeah,
Like,
I had to
it was
break
just way
all
too dark.
that. Yeah, I've seen the entirety of Bad Batch season 3 of what they've posted so far, and I've really liked it. It's by far the best season, at least my opinion. Um,
Mhm.
it's so good. They even the filler, even like the 2 filler episodes they've had, or it's really just like one filler episode. Um, it wasn't even like it wasn't even horrible. Like, I mean, they were little. I mean, it was cool seeing the little clone kids and
Uh-huh.
having the I forgot who the actor is that did Boba Fett in episode 1, but he voiced one of the clone kids. And
I
I
was
thought that
wondering that.
um yeah. Um
Yeah, Foster and Cat, she didn't give any spoilers because that was already in the promo. Like, the clone cadets were already in that, like, promo video they posted before the episode came out, so she didn't spoil anything. Um, but yeah, I really liked the past 2 episodes. It was just my sister's complaint too was, like, I literally cannot see the screen. I cannot see what's happening. Like, there's, like, fights and stuff going on and explosions. She's like, "I don't know what's happening." Like, I can't see who's who.
mm,
Besides that, I really liked it.
yeah. I don't know what I guess guess I have good graphics on my computer or something, but I could see pretty well. I also had the brightness at 100%.
That's probably why.
That's probably why I could see it. Um
Yeah.
Whenever I set up for because I watch it at 2 in the morning
My
every
goodness.
because I can't because if I get on YouTube, I'm going to the minute even open my phone, I'm going to
Mhm.
like Bad Batch season 3 episode whatever breakdown, and I'm like I can't
Just,
sleep.
like, literally when the Clone Wars season 7 came out, like, I turned my YouTube notifications off. I don't wanna see reaction videos, I don't wanna see promos, I don't wanna see nothing until I finished watching the episode that morning.
Yeah.
But I still got the very last scene spoiled because, like, I
Oh
think a
yeah.
Star Wars Coffee had posted the Vader scene, and I was like, "Dang it, I know how the ending of the Clone Wars like, what the ending is now." Like, and it was a day before it actually came out. He posted that on, like, May 3rd, and in America, the episode came out May 4th, so I was like, "Dang it, like,
Mm.
you ruined it a day early."
And then
Yeah.
another reason I like to stay up is because if anybody watches Star Wars Theory, he'll do watch parties, and I like to his commentary on stuff.
Mhm.
I've been
Some of
watching.
my favorite some of my favorite commentary when season 7 came out was I loved the reaction videos from Kessel Run Transmissions,
Oh yeah.
and they're now called, like, Convor Call or whatever, but when they first started doing when I first started, like, discovered Corey's channel, I was like, "Dang, this is so cool, like, it's such a huge channel and stuff," and, when I followed them and they followed me back on Instagram, I was like, "Wow, that's cool." I have, like, a little mini celebrity following me, but, so I really liked their reaction videos, and I liked, oh my gosh, what's that girl? Gazelle? It's like Gaxelle. She does a bunch of reaction videos to TV shows. She seems really nice.
I haven't seen hers.
And I watched like every reaction video I could find when
Yeah.
Order 66 came out.
Mm-mm. Um. Oh,
Yeah.
Bumble, you do those watch parties too. Yeah.
Hmm. What'd you say?
Oh, Bumblebee has been to does his watch parties theories.
Oh, yeah, he has, like, huge watch parties too. He has a giant following.
It's like it's massive. Um, and the projects he's doing for Star Wars fans is insane. Like he's spending 500,000 on Vader Episode 2,
Oh my gosh.
another 500,000 on Vader Episode 3. Like it's insane. And he's starting his own lightsaber company.
That's insane. Oh my gosh, because that's, like, his full-time job, basically, like, he's
Yeah,
got it made. Just making content.
that's his entire thing. And in the last watch party, he was like, somebody asked about his how he gets sleep, and he's like, I don't.
Mhm.
No,
I can
and
imagine.
it's like all of his projects that he has to do is crazy.
And then staying up late to watch the
Mm,
watch parties.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then and then he posted a video the other day saying that he had uh it's like a disconnected retina or something,
Oh,
a detached retina. So now he's got eye issues due to
that
stress.
sucks. Oh my gosh, sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think you're right, Ethan. I think he has made multiple channels, kinda like Mr. Beast.
Mhm. Yeah,
He's made, like, multiple channels.
he's got a podcast, Theory Shorts, one that's like specifically for lives.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's cool.
There's a bunch of
Well
other associated with it, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, no, it's okay, go ahead, you can finish your thought.
Oh yeah, um he just has a bunch of channels that he doesn't run, but they're associated with him.
Mhm.
I think one there's like Hunger Games theory, Harry Potter theory, all that kind of stuff. Um,
Those are all him?
no, they're run by different people, but
Oh, okay,
all
I was like, "Dang," like
they're associated with Star Wars theory.
it's like, I love Star Wars, but I don't know if I could do it as, like, a job because I
Yeah,
would
no,
get burnt out. Like, because I get if we go through, like, a dry season of Star Wars content, like, I am burnt out, like, I can't even talk about it. Like, I'm just like, "Ah." Star Wars used to be, like, 80% of my personality, and now it's, like, 2%, so I'm like, I can't force content if I'm not feeling it, you know?
yeah,
Um,
especially
yeah,
in
he's really cool.
especially in those like 6 month gaps.
Oh, hey, Chan. He says, "I have, like, a sec. I just wanted to say hi to Shen and Padawan Shen." Yeah, thank you for stopping by, Chan. You're the reason that she is officially my Padawan now.
Yes, I thank
So,
you very much for that.
yeah, thank you for instigating that. Yeah, we just went through First Corinthians 13, and then we just started rambling about James Arnold. Did I tell you, Chan, that I'm gonna meet James Arnold Taylor soon at a Comic-Con? I'm gonna get a selfie with him. Um, I wanted to tell him about how he's, like, been an inspiration to me. He just seems so nice, like, he seems like such a nice person.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I'm excited about that. Anyway, if no one else has any I got 34 people, wow, 35. That is not not usual. 39. Um, yeah, Ashley's gonna be there too, and William Shatner, from the
Start.
original Star Trek. Yeah, I'm sure I thought of you when I saw that he was gonna be there. I was like, "Sophia would
Yeah,
love this." Like
I've got that hanging on my
exactly.
wall. It's the Enterprise A
He
Enterprise
with, like,
C
what's it
or
called? What's the painting called?
um
Starry Night.
Starry Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like the Enterprise. Yeah, that's the D. Thank you. I haven't seen Next Generation in like 3 or 4 years.
I
Um,
haven't seen it at all, so that's sooner than I've seen it.
yeah,
I
my
need
friend.
to
I've actually got a start like a Captain Kirk mug where it's like his body holding a phaser, but there's no head, so whenever you're sipping it, it kind of looks like it's funny. Um, oh
buy
yeah,
it. My
Very
dad's friend loves Star Trek so much that he named his son, Kirk.
really?
Yeah. He's, like, a huge fan, so that's why he named his son Kirk. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Fostering cat said I'm more of a Voyager person.
Star Trek Voyager's okay. I've seen the first few seasons of it, and then it got dropped from Netflix, and it moved
Like
trans.
everything good.
Oh my gosh, Ryan Foster! I love DS9. DS9 is amazing.
What
um,
is the this is a
Deep Space
stupid question. What is DS9?
Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I
It's
know it. Okay.
third.
I didn't know that was the acronym for it.
It was so good. Um, uh, I think I cried at the end they whenever they finished the show. Um,
Because was the ending sad or was it just because it ended, you were sad?
no, the ending was sad because two characters who were meant to be together had to be apart for eternity,
Okay, that is pretty depressing.
and one of them was immortal.
Oh, that's immortality sounds really terrifying. Like, it's
Yeah,
different. Eternal life in heaven is different than like eternal life just chilling like you are on Earth. Like that sounds terrifying to me. I'd rather die. I would not want to be immortal on Earth, like
yeah,
the way things are. No way.
but this is like in like a vast galaxy.
Hmm.
It even no, they even lead to another galaxy, and the way Voyager starts off is I think at I think it's some I think it's at the end of DS9, whenever it really starts to take place, and um, they launch into. I think they get taken through the wormhole, and they're trapped there, and then the wormhole closes off.
Mm.
Oh, season 5. Okay, Voyager starts in season 5. Thank you. Um, Next Generation was one of Ethan's favorites. Make it so number one. Yes, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Ugh, he was hilarious. The
My
episodes around children were amazing.
my dad's been going through a Lost in Space phase recently because he grew up with like the '60s Lost in Space.
Mhm.
Well, he watched like mostly reruns because he wasn't, you know, he was born in '64, so but anyway, he's been watching that like all the time recently. And have you watched the original Lost in Space or just the
No,
like the new
the
one?
unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like you'd like it because it's just Star Trek. You know how it's so gimmicky. Like the original series
Mhm,
can be like so gimmicky sometimes, and sometimes it's really good.
mhm,
That's how Lost in Space is. It's like 70% of the time it's gimmicky, but 30% of the time it's like, oh, that was a really compelling plot line.
mhm.
Um, and there's one plot line that it was an episode we watched a few days ago called "Follow the Leader." And my dad pointed out, he was like, "I wonder if Star Wars got like some of its inspiration from this episode because it's basically the dad in the family gets like kind of possessed by this spirit, and he's wearing this mask, and like basically becomes um this dead warrior. Like there's a spirit of a dead warrior that, like possessed him, and you can see this internal conflict. He changes from like regular John Robinson and then to like the evil John Robinson throughout the episode, and then he finally turns evil, and then
That's
his son has to be the one to redeem him. It's kind of like
yeah.
Vader and Luke.
It reminds me of one of those episodes of start of the original series where they have the transporter incident with Captain Kirk.
um
How he kind of goes evil.
oh wait, is that the one where Sulu goes evil too?
I think so. Yeah.
It was so dumb. But he was like, what was he like fencing or jousting or something in the hallway? I
Yeah.
remember that. That was
Um.
yeah.
There because everybody who was transported back, uh, their like alternate personality was transported. Similar
Yeah.
similar thing happened to Riker in Next Generation. Um, he we found out that his person or like in a there was a transporter incident where he half where he was materialized on the ship, but he all but a clone of himself was left on another planet,
Mhm.
and so he was kind of just left there. And so whenever um they come across him again, I think he snaps and tries to he imitates Will, and it's hilarious. Um and then his twin actually makes an appearance in DS9 and tries to hijack the station. I don't remember exactly.
I need to watch, like, the other Star Trek series because
They're
I feel
really
like
good.
I like them. I just grew up on the original series because that was my dad's favorite.
Mhm.
Did you watch the movies? Like, any of the
I've seen a
like
couple of the Next Generation movies.
I've only seen, Into Darkness and Wrath of Khan.
Uh,
Um, yeah. My
yeah,
mom's downstairs baby talking to my dog, if you hear that. She's talking to Baxter, our basset hound. I hear her saying, "You want some blankets on you, buddy? I'll put some blankets on you."
cute. Uh,
Um, Baxter.
yeah. I've seen. I haven't. Wait. What was the question before you started talking about your dog?
Uh, have you watched the Star Trek movies?
Okay, so yeah, I've seen the Next Generation movies. I think I've seen all three of them. But I haven't seen any of the original series movies or anything. Unfortunately, because I know that I've heard those are really good.
Like the ones from like the 80s?
Yeah, I've heard those
Yeah,
are.
Wrath of Khan was from the 80s. Into Darkness was the one with Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. He was an amazing Khan. Like my dad, it's funny, sometimes my dad will be like watching YouTube on his phone and I know that he's watching Khan versus Spock. Like I can just tell that's what he's watching
Yeah.
because he's like he just looks so satisfied. I'm like, what are you watching? He flips the phone around. He's like, yep, I knew that you were watching
Mhm.
that duel. Um, yeah.
I think.
Anyway,
Yeah. Do you remember the Tribble episode?
yes, it was like the dumbest episode in the entire
Yeah.
series.
Okay, so they did a um it was a spin-off episode in Deep Space 9, and they got transported back in time to
Hmm.
get trial the episode is titled Trials and Tribulations. Um
I think I've heard of that. That's funny.
yeah, I think my favorite scene is whenever they run into the Klingons, because is Worf the Klingons get a major rebrand. Um and so all the crew who went back in time is like, "What happened to the Klingons?" And Worf is like, "We don't speak of it."
That's like Um, I think my favorite part of the Trouble with Tribbles episode was, do you remember when Scotty gets in a fist fight with somebody because the guy was at first, I thought, was it the Klingons or like the Romulans? Who was in that episode they were fighting?
They there were
It was
th
another ship. It was just like an ally, I think.
yeah, I think the Romulans were there, and the Klingons were there in Starfleet.
Okay. I
Um,
remember like Scotty got in a fist fight with this one guy because at first the guy insulted Captain Kirk and Scotty was
yeah,
like, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about him like that." And then he insulted the Enterprise, and that's when Scotty started like fighting him.
yeah, he was like,
Um,
"You can insult my captain, but you can't insult my ship."
yeah, I thought it was funny. And then later when Kirk like asks him what happened, and he says like basically he fought the guy over the ship and not Captain Kirk. Like that was probably my favorite part of the whole episode. Bye,
Oh,
fostering cat.
in sync.
Oh, you said it too at the same
Yeah.
time? I didn't hear it.
Alright, well, it's like 9:30 for me. Um,
Yeah, I need to go study Spanish, sadly.
yeah,
And I need to work on the
debate
study MEP.
I've got
It's
a
my next project.
I've got a debate assignment coming up. I have to turn in my I have to turn in I think I have to turn in my 1 AC and my 1 NC next
Mhm.
not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, so I gotta get that done.
Okay.
Well,
Let me
this
know
is
how it goes.
yeah, I will. I will talk. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on here. It like made it a lot more engaging instead of me talking to myself for like
Yeah,
an hour. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for dropping by. And if you enjoyed this video, like leave a comment. If you want Sophia to come back, leave a comment. And if you don't want her to come back, she's still gonna come back because I want her to. So that's your problem. Anyways, if you want to come back, I would love to have you back on another stream.
love to come back.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening. And I will see you next time. Or you won't see me, but I'll see you.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right. Bye guys.
Bye, guys.